The entry of the NBI in the picture because
Why do they come in?
yes, as bloggers, we are used to government officials replying to our articles, but here comes the NBI asking Ella to come to their office for some polygraph tests. So this sends a chilling message to bloggers and other anonymous writers in the cyberspace.
Marichu, you said this is experimental. Do you think the case will prosper in any way?
Where will they serve the, someone says, well, I don't know where they serve it. How will they serve the warrants of arrest? So I don't know how they would be able, probably they will serve it on those people serving Dolor.
Yes.
Go to their offices and then later on they would file the case. So, and then I don't know how they would...
You're skeptical. You're skeptical about whether...
Yes.
And then on the blogging community, what kind of effect has this had? Have you been affected by it in any way?
Well, the initial reaction is that the NBI is capable of monitoring our personal accounts, and they can determine the identity even of anonymous bloggers.
But again, shouldn't bloggers be held accountable for what they say?
Well, in the online community, we practice self-regulation, and the credibility of a blogger can be raised. So if your credibility is lost, nobody will read you anymore.
Right.
So
it's our argument for media, actually.
Yeah,
is that
but it's frightening that the NBI is training all its guns on this one anonymous blogger, a very little blog, and there are many unsolved murders every day. There are 70 or so journalists murdered in this span of years, and nothing has been done about that. And here's the NBI training all its resources.
Do you think it's a waste of time?
I think the NBI has more, I don't know.
More urgent.
Unsolved murders.
So why do you think it's doing it?
Well, it's at the behest of a public official. Just like in other cases. So we wonder whether cases in this country only get solved if it's at the behest, at the personal behest of a public official. And what about those murders, other murders committed against private citizens and their families? Those go unsolved. This shows that the NBI can be efficient if it wants to, if it's at the behest.
If it's compelled to be.
If it's compelled to by a public official.
I don't mind being unprecedented. I don't mind that part because perhaps we should be starting to exercise that muscle of suing for libel, because we don't. Not as a habit the way other countries do. But I think in this case, especially that it was a special circumstance. I keep going back to that. It could have been easily resolved by an exchange.
Right.
One explains and etc. And then again the clear explanation from the DSWD, because seriously, I worked with the DSWD a month after, right after that, and almost every day for the entire month of October till part of November. And they were able to explain to me somehow. In bits and pieces, I got it from several sources of people. Even Secretary Cabral herself, I was able to understand and say, oh, okay, so that's why. Because there was, just as much as we had a month's worth of rain in 12 hours, they got years' worth of donations within days. I mean, if they're not even equipped to handle the regular rhythms,
to do this, correct.
What more something like that? And
but that means admitting.
Yes, seriously, if I were the DSWD, I would have just admitted and said, this is unprecedented, the amount of donations, but what a great problem to have. You have so much donations, we don't know what to do with them, maybe you can help.
Well, the initial reaction of the DSWD was very welcome. They welcomed the volunteers.
She did,
because of the blog post of Ella, many people volunteered to help in the repacking of the relief goods in the DSWD warehouse. So I think that's one positive thing that come out of because of Ella's blog post.
I was going to say, because she blogged, we were able to have the courage or the muscle to say, okay, it's time to help government.
We're willing to help.
It's time to reach out and help government.
But given the situation now, is it seen as a way to try to stifle dissent?
I think
or control or frighten anonymous bloggers and all bloggers. To be fair, I think Secretary Cabral did her best. But what is the standard when people are starving to death, dying of despair? What is the standard of being fast enough? I think I don't like to quote the U.S. President, but Barack Obama said that when people are dying of starvation, nothing is fast enough. No amount of relief is fast enough. And I think public officials should not be too onion-skinned when people want them to be more efficient in distributing the goods. So
I remember at that time I talked to Secretary Cabral, and she did explain to me the paperwork involved, the protocol involved in when they liquidate or when they report donations, right? I think because it's an unusual time, there should have been an exception in terms of the way it was dispersed.
Yes.
Because I think urgency was not felt. I guess the public did not feel the same urgency from the DSWD, and that's the issue.
On the flip side of people like Secretary Cabral who feel attacked on the internet, do you think most bloggers understand the kind of power they hold? They do understand that you understand the power you hold as a blogger, but are there ethics? Is there accountability? Is there a way to hold the bloggers accountable without going to a libel suit?
Well, I believe that most Filipino bloggers are responsible, and they are aware of some power that they have in influencing the opinion of others. But many bloggers are personal outlets. You know? Many bloggers do not write political
Yes.
issues. They stay on non-controversial topics.
Mm-mm.
And I believe many bloggers are practicing prudence when they write. But there are also irresponsible bloggers.
Yes.
But we have to emphasize that majority of Filipino bloggers are voicing out their opinion on so many issues, including political topics.
I think law should be clearer.
Mm-hmm.
There are even definitions of what a private blog is, because the question is a blog as the same as your diary under your bed?
Mm-hmm.
Many people treat it that way. Many people will defend themselves using that argument. This is my opinion, it's my journal, but it's on the World Wide Web.
It's
so I think
yeah.
legislation should come into play. The definition of a personal blog, what are the parameters? I mean, seriously, because
Yes,
it's so easy for the source to claim it's my opinion, and then you're scot-free. And we can't do that way either.
Because then it is libelous.
I'm a blogger, and I can't always say it's my opinion. You
Yes.
know, go away.
There is a blogger's code of ethics, by the way, but it is not being imposed.
And who is going to impose it, right? So let's go back to the
It
libel.
would be fair comment if the opinion is based on substantial information or substantial evidence, and if it is a matter of public concern and public interest. In this case, the distribution of relief goods was a matter of public concern, so that's one. And second, it was based on photographs. Now, the Secretary Cabral never denied the truthfulness of the photographs. She just said that the goods were not rotting. There was just some inefficiency because there were no volunteers.
Yes.
So it was based on those photos. It was based on substantial information. So that's fair comment and
Yes.
come under privileged communication.
Okay.
I was wondering also about that because the photos didn't exactly have time lapse. You know, it didn't
Correct.
take the same spot in 10 days, and
Yeah.
it was still.
But what is the
Well-
standard nga of being fast enough when people are starving? So I think that is the point of the blogger here. There's no standard there. Any effort is not fast enough if people are dying in the streets.
And Ella never claimed to be a journalist. She just voiced out her opinion on what she witnessed in the warehouse. So maybe she saw
was
something.
getting impatient.
She saw something. Maybe it's not the total picture, but she saw
Let's just say
something.
this is nothing that three subsequent blog posts can't fix.
Perhaps. Well,
Yeah.
obviously we've started a whole discussion that I'm sure will move back to the online world. Thank you very much, Attorney Lambino, Marichu, Mong, and gang. When we come back, we'll look back at the Gucci gang controversy. All this when Media in Focus returns.